Good morning, welcome back. It's still Star Wars Day, May the 4th, 2019, at around 11 a.m. in the morning. The engine has been running fine for just over 2 hours, and we've just topped up the domestic water tank at the water point here at the top of the iconic Foxton Locks. It's ever so windy today, which makes steering the boat a little tricky. Narrowboats do seem to have a mind of their own on windy days like these. It's very easy to get blown off course. It's also not the warmest of days, but we're spending the day by water. As we all know, that makes life so much better. We have been here before, as we walked to the pub after breaking down on Easter Sunday. The important thing for us this time is that we've got here with the boat. Having booked our passage with the volunteer lockkeeper as the water tank filled, we're given the okay to proceed onto the top lock. Paul's shoved off and is going ahead to open the lock gate. Don't forget, you can subscribe to our channel at any time. It's free, so don't be shy, subscribe today. Even if I say so myself, I don't think I'm doing that bad a job keeping the boat on course. Nice and easy does it into the top lock. Have you subscribed yet? Did we mention that it's free? No cost to you at all. Go on, you know you want to. The lockkeeper's cottage you can see here on the left is now a shop. The building is Grade 2 listed. We will be joined on our journey through the staircase locks by a Canal and River Trust volunteer lockkeeper. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your journey with us through Foxton Locks. We're going to switch back and forth between real-time and time-lapse video for this journey, as it takes between 45 minutes and an hour to fully traverse all the locks. Foxton Locks are 10 canal locks consisting of 2 staircases, each of 5 locks. They form the northern terminus of a 20-mile summit level of the Leicester line of the Grand Union Canal. Building works on the locks began in 1810 and took only 4 years to complete. They were designed by civil engineer Benjamin Bevan. Staircase locks are used where a canal needs to climb a steep hill and consist of a group of locks where each lock opens directly into the next, that is, where the bottom gates of one lock form the top gates of the next. Foxton Locks are the largest flight of such staircase locks on the English canal system. Being stood here at the tiller, with the chamber walls giving you just a limited field of vision, as the lock gates are opened and you edge forward, it does make it feel like you're about to fall over the edge of the hill and plummet to your death. Thankfully, there is another lock chamber just in front of the boat, and not a sheer drop. Just as we pass the lock gates, you'll notice there is a white line with the word SIL painted on it. These are the markers where you need to make sure that your narrowboat is beyond when going down in a lock. A sill is basically a foundation layer for the top lock gates, a huge nasty piece of concrete that sticks out into a lock chamber, that every boater is wary of and all attempt to keep well clear of. You don't want your boat hooked up on a sill in a lock as the water is draining out. It's one of the quickest ways to sink your boat. I manoeuvre the boat away from the sill markers as the lock gates are closed behind me. Foxton is also famous for its incline plane or boat lift that was in operation from 1900 to 1911. The brick building to the right hand side of your screen is the remains of the engine house for the incline plane and is now a museum. During the years that the incline plane was in operation, the locks were allowed to fall into decline. However, they were restored for nighttime operation in 1908. It's that moment of dread again as the cathedral-like doors of the lock are opened in front of the boat, revealing a view of the countryside beyond the tomb-like entrapment of the lock chamber. You steer the boat beyond the confines and over the edge into the abyss. Okay, that may be a bit of poetic license there. We all know that we're going into the third lock of the first staircase of 5. They are over 200 years old. You never know. The importance of the lock's industrial heritage was recognised in 1966 when they were Grade 2 listed, and in 2008 when they were included in the European Route of Industrial Heritage, a network that seeks to recognise the most important industrial heritage sites across Europe. The boat inches forwards of the sill markers again, and the lock gates are closed behind once more. There's the brick engine house again on the right hand side of your screen. More about the inclined plane in an upcoming vlog. However, we will note here that the building of the inclined plane in the 1900s meant that the lock's side ponds were reduced in size to what we see here today. Other than that, the site largely remains the same today as it was when first built in the 19th century. The 10 locks in 2 staircase flights enable the canal to change level by 75 feet, or 23 meters. We are currently descending and are almost halfway, or approximately 40 feet, below where we started at the top lock. Once more over the edge, dear friends, once more. Forward we go through the cathedral-like gates of the lock that have been opened by Paul, beckoning us on into the unknown, or the 5th lock chamber on the first flight. You know what? Tempted. You've been left on your own devices now then.
There's another one coming down, so
Oh, was there?
get them going.
Seems to be the way. Just look at that view opening up around us as we exit from the lock chamber. Isn't it just magnificent?
Let's go slow, which you're actually got water supplements.
Don't stamp on my head. Don't stamp on my head.
You couldn't do that. You stop it.
You'll remember from watching the vlog about the Watford locks that there is a little aide-memoire that helps when operating the staircase locks. The winding gear posts are painted white or red. The aide-memoire goes, red before white and you'll be alright, meaning that you use the red winding gear on the lock before the white to open the paddles in the locks and on the gates in the correct order. Let's have a quick look backwards at the lock gate towering above me. And look, there's the concrete sill that we have to keep forwards of. If you're watching this vlog between the 6th of January and 13th of March 2020, then Foxton Locks are currently closed for winter maintenance. A number of lock gates are being replaced and repairs are being made, including some of the ladders and brickwork. During the maintenance period, there will be open days where you can access the drained lock chambers and see the work being carried out. These days will happen at weekends and will be advertised on the Canal and River Trust website. I will add a link to the description below so you're able to see when the open days are happening throughout February and early March. I think I've been miscounting the number of locks we have been through. Either that, or someone has added a 6th lock to this staircase flight of 5. We're just entering the lower lock of the first staircase just now. You would have noticed the little bridges that span each of the locks, giving the person working the lock access to both sides of the gates without having to walk all the way around the locks. These also make great places for gongoozlers to stand and watch the narrowboats from. The volunteer lockkeeper, impressed by Paul's masterful handling of the locks, has gone to help another boater who is following us down the staircase flight.
Sorry? Okay.
The 10 locks in 2 staircase flights enable the canal to change level by 75 feet, or 23 meters. We are currently descending and are almost halfway, or approximately 40 feet, below where we started at the top lock. Paul thought that the person stood by the lock gate on the left-hand side was going to open it for us, which is why he didn't wander across and open it himself. As we can clearly see, they didn't open the gate. Paul starts to wind the paddle gear down, so I guess we'll just wait here for a moment. After spending so long enclosed in the locks, it is a strange feeling to be exiting into a short pound at the midway point. It is, however, a pleasant release from the confines of the lock's bricks walls.
Can't hear you.
This short pound section would have allowed narrowboats to pass as they traversed the 2 staircase flights. To help conserve water, the locks today are managed by the volunteers of the Canal and River Trust. They take bookings for boaters who wish to pass through the locks and ensure that narrowboat traffic flows smoothly up or down. We've skipped ahead a little. We're now in the top lock chamber of the second flight of 5 locks. It's just past midday and the crowds of gongoozlers are starting to gather to watch the boats through the locks. You can see them gathering on the little bridges that span the canal, the ones that boaters need to use to cross so that they can open both of the lock gates easily. You may have noticed that we've swapped roles. Paul will be your tiller guide and I will be taking on lock keeping duties. Red before white. Red before white.
Mark has been joined by a volunteer lockkeeper. The walls of this lock chamber appear to be very green. It always amazes me how the moss and plants manage to grow here, with the number of narrowboats scraping past and the amount of water that flows through. You'd think that the side walls would be void of plant life. It's nice to see some greenery in what would otherwise be a bleak brick wall. However, allowing plants to grow on the masonry hinders the strength of the mortar. As the boat gracefully enters the next lock in the staircase, you can see on the right hand side of your screen a couple of buildings just beyond one of the lock side pounds. These are Foxton Locks Inn and Boathouse. This was the pub that we walked to on Easter Sunday to phone for a taxi to take us back to the car after we had broken down. You'll need to watch vlog number 18 to hear that story. It's a very nice pub. There are visitor moorings just outside of it and they serve meals here as well. Foxton Locks Inn wasn't always a public house. In a previous life, this building was the canal office.
After winding the paddle gear, I reach for my phone to record a short piece of footage of Paul and the boat going down in the lock. But it's soon back to work, opening the gates and lowering the paddle gear. No rest for the wicked.
It's very easy to spot where the repair work has been carried out on the lock chambers over the years. The bricks were slightly different in quality and colour. It's amazing to think that some of these bricks have been here since the locks were first built in 1810, 209 years ago. Whilst it doesn't look like there's much movement from side to side, the wind is still buffeting the boat. There's a little bit of room either side of us in the locks, and our side fenders are keeping us from bashing onto the brickwork. There's a little bit of rocking in this lock as the water empties from beneath the boat. I'm not too sure if this is because the white paddle gear was cranked open so quickly after Mark opened the red paddle gear. It definitely felt a bit lively. Just beyond Bridge 61 is the Bridge 61 Public House, which is yet another pub. This is a more typical canal-side pub that sells good quality local ales, has a good menu and is dog friendly. The type of pub that has signs requesting that children must be kept on leads at all times. Oh, hang on, maybe that was dogs. There's even a beer garden where you can sit and watch the boats passing by as you enjoy your drinks. The buildings that the pub now occupy were the buildings where the inclined plane workers once lived. There are some great pictures of the inclined plane and ye olde time canal boats on the walls inside. It is well worth a visit.
The final lock paddles are attached to the gates themselves rather than the red and white gear of the previous locks on the staircase. We open these and the water is released into the basin. I have a quick chat with Paul about being picked up from the lock landing just beyond the bottom gates after I've closed the gates behind him. Paul holds position just outside the lock. I get waylaid by the very nice Liz, who is working for the Canal and River Trust. She is recruiting friends of the CRT to help fund the brilliant work that goes on along the CRT waterways. Friends of the CRT pay a monthly fee and in return receive a pin badge, a membership card, a monthly magazine, and a car or boat sticker. There was also a Canal Walks book being offered. The membership card and pin badge allow you free entry into CRT museums that are dotted around the country. I say we'll have a think and we'll try signing up online later, as I haven't got my wallet on me. I do tend not to carry it in my pocket when we're on the move, just in case I slip or trip and then get wet.
There are facilities and water points here at the base and the foot of the locks. There's visitor moorings right outside the Foxton Locks Inn too.
I need to open the swing bridge that will allow us to head down towards Market Harbour. It takes a while for me to get around to it, as I have to go across the switch over Rainbow Bridge, then under that and along the towpath to the spring bridge. I finally work out how to use the key and operate the mechanism. I open this bridge and pull powers on through. Just beyond the swing bridge, there's a place to stop and pick up crew.
Just enough time to say thanks for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, then give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you'd like notifications of when we next post a vlog, ding the bell. Comments are always welcome, so please do leave a comment below, or join us on Twitter too. Thanks for watching.
Oh, I guess I'm not being picked up here then. It's time to say goodbye. Join us next time to see if I do get back on board. Oi, have you forgotten someone?